Hey there in YouTube land, and it's gaming news tonight. Today we've had some big gaming announcements, and I thought I'd talk about them a bit and give you my take on it. So, I've had a little bit of Sprite because it's really, really hot here tonight. Okay, so tomorrow PlayStation launches PlayStation Now Beta, and they've talked about it. There was this is the open beta. There was a kind of a closed beta before. And we all know the pricing system by now is kind of outrageous. They did say, however, that they would be looking into doing maybe a subscription-based service down the road along with the rental service. So not exactly greatest news. At the same time, PlayStation also announced that to coincide with an announcement that Microsoft made, which we'll talk about in a few minutes, that they would not take the EA access onto PlayStation because they didn't think it was a good deal for their for the people that that buy PlayStations. Well, I've got a PlayStation 4. I may not have it for a long time, but at this point, I've got a PlayStation 4. Microsoft, however, has announced that they are premiering EA Access on their system. In case you're not familiar with EA Access, it's been recently announced by EA, and basically what they are doing is it's $5 a month or $30 for a year, and basically you get it's a Netflix-like subscription service where you can play like a crap load of EA games, and with none being taken down. So it's not going to be like Netflix in the way that you can watch movies for a while and they they lose the license or whatever, so it's being taken down. This is EA. They are the company. They do own the licenses, so you can play the games for as long as you want. They're yours to play. There's no rental fee. It's $30 it's $30 a year. So I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna talk about that a little more because I need to get another drink. It's really warm here. So here we go. I'm back, and again, what do we think here? A rental service with potential subscription service versus a straight out Netflix style subscription service. Again, that all depends on you, the consumer, what you're going to go for. EA has a smaller library than PlayStation is obviously going to have, but the library that you're getting at PlayStation is mostly stuff that, well, would cost less if you bought the hard copy of it secondhand in the first place. Unless you're playing a game for like 4 hours and that's it, and then it's $4.99. Sometimes they go to $2.99. It's not really that great a deal. A lot of these games you can buy for a fairly cheap price, as opposed to EA Access. Now, PlayStation has already cut off one of their heads by actually not, I guess, thinking of it as competition, has decided that they don't want to put another subscription service on with their subscription service. So what does this mean for PlayStation's games in the Now system in the future? Does this mean that maybe EA won't host some of their games on the Now service? That they will only host my EA Access? Be able to buy a physical copy, but if you want to digitally play it, you'll have to use the EA Access service, which you couldn't do on the PlayStation 4. That leads into a different kind of exclusivity that hasn't been thought of before the digital age came about. Games that can digitally be exclusive through a streaming service. That leads to some interesting ideas and concepts, and some pretty dangerous ones too. PlayStation has painted themselves to a corner. They have come out with a fantastic system. The PlayStation system has been pretty great all around. The controls are amazing. They do have the superior controller between the Xbox One controller and the PlayStation 4 controller. PlayStation 4 controller this time around is the better controller. That being said, both have their pluses controller-wise and what you like and what you're into. For me, I went with PlayStation early on because honestly, when the games started coming out, there was a few things that I wanted to play in PlayStation. There wasn't a lot that I wanted to play on the Xbox One. That's changed, however. I do kind of want to see Dead Rising 3. I do kind of want to play Titanfall. Halo does interest me. I am interested in the Master Collection. And I am definitely interested in EA Access. And that being said, let's look at some of the things that EA can possibly bring to the table. In case you're thinking, EA is just like sports games or whatever. EA brought us the Burnout series, which I would love to see another great Burnout game. I think the last great one was probably Revenge or Takedown, one of those. 3 and 4 anyway. Battlefield. We had the Crisis, Command & Conquer, the Dead Space series, Dragon Age. If you're a sports fan, you're going to love this. FIFA, Fight Night, Harry Potter, NFL, NHL, NBA, NCAA. I think the UFC's one is the EA as well. I'm pretty sure it is. Just Sims games. Remember the old skate games? Those were EA. SSX games, which I was a huge fan of. Titanfall will not be a part of EA Access. That will be a premium title that you will buy, and I can understand that. I completely understand why Titanfall would fall outside of the perimeters of that. Kind of like they want to keep it as their premier golden boy in their titles, and that's not a bad thing. There should be titles that we want to go to the store and pick up, that we want to get special editions of, that we want to go out and physically buy copies of. This should not go completely digital, guys. I see that they kind of want it to go that way, but not yet. And EA Access is the closest thing to a good streaming service for gaming, which we've been wanting for a while, that we've seen. So if you haven't picked up your system yet, actually, honestly, buy the Wii U. It's got the best games out right now. But be careful. Wait to see how this thing is going to go between PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. For me right now, I've got a PlayStation 4, and gaming-wise right now, I'm pretty satisfied with what I got. But am I going to probably hop the fence over to the Xbox One? Looks more and more likely every day. Sony is making all the mistakes that Xbox made during the last generation. And it seems like Xbox has made those mistakes. And despite a very volatile start to this generation, have learned from them. And having a new head has really brought some vision to the company. I think Phil Spencer's done a lot for Xbox. And we're going to see some more in the future. Xbox is right now the underdog. They're not the big bad wolf that they used to be, especially in the last generation when everybody had their Xbox 360 and this was a huge console war thing. I play all consoles. I play Nintendo, I play Sony, I play Microsoft. And at the end of the day, I play games I like. And right now the system I play the most is the Nintendo 3DS. That's one I can honestly say every day gets at least an hour and a half play out of me. And considering the time that I've got to spend on stuff, that's pretty amazing. When I go to work, that's probably going to be the one that I'll take with me. I would take my 3DS over. I would take an iPad to some places because, well, it does what I need it to do, and it does the old school gaming that I want. So when people counted Nintendo out, they do what they always do. They soldier on. When people plotted Sony, whoever this time around, they did what we didn't expect them to do. And they turned their back on the gamer that they said they were going to be there for. Something to think about. I'm going to have a lot of Sony fans on here that are going to call me an Xbox fanboy or a Nintendo fanboy or not a true hardcore gamer. And I don't mind that because if hardcore gamer means a fanboy for one company, I don't want to be that. I want to be able to speak in my voice and talk about whatever game or game system I want. If I want to talk about Pokemon or do they even do a Sailor Moon game or whatever, I can say it with a straight face if I want to and say, okay, you know what? I like that. You don't? Tough. That's been it for me for right now, and it's a hot night out here. PlayStation Now versus EA Access. At this point, Access wins. No doubt about it. And when Access wins, so does the Xbox One. Thanks for watching, guys. And for me right now, it is time for tea. And iced. Because I'm melting.